Kanata is in Special Forces and has a superpower that allows him to gain the exact abilities and experience of anything he eats. However, on an unfortunate date, he is stabbed to death and reincarnated as a baby goblin in another world. Determined, he decides to evolve into one of the strongest goblins and get as many wives as he can. However, before any of this, Kanata dies at the hands of a mentally unstable girl who uses a high-tech dagger to ice-sky him. As Kanata opens his eyes again, he sees an old and ugly goblin staring straight at him. Kanata is confused and scared. He soon realizes that he has been reborn in another world, not as a human, but as a goblin baby. The goblin elder gives him a new name, Gobru. Since Gobru is only a newborn goblin, he cannot speak, move properly, or refuse anything. The elder feeds him a large maggot as food, saying it is full of protein. On the second day, Gobru wakes up surrounded by many other goblin babies. At this moment, reality fully hits him. He understands that he is no longer human. By the third day, Gobru notices something strange. Goblins grow much faster than humans. Even though only a few days have passed, his body is already developing. He is still bald, but now he can move better and even speak a little. Accepting that he cannot change his situation, Gobru decides to survive. If he must live as a goblin, he will at least try to make this life worth something. On the fourth day, the goblin elder gathers all the young goblins. He insults them and calls them useless. He tells them that from now on, they must find their own food. He gives them one last meal of maggots and sends them out of the cave. Gobru hates eating maggots, but he understands that protein is important for survival, so he eats them anyway. When Gobru leaves the cave, he sees the outside world for the first time. The forest is beautiful, full of strange plants and animals he has never seen before. Another goblin follows him outside. This goblin is terrified because it is his first time in the open world. Gobru tries to calm him down and tells him that it is his first time too. The goblin introduces himself as Kichi. Kichi is not very smart, but he is strong and has a large body. Gobru decides to team up with him because strength is useful for hunting. They soon spot a rabbit in the forest. Gobru comes up with a simple plan. He tells Kichi to chase the rabbit directly. As expected, the rabbit runs away. Gobru waits in a tree nearby. When the rabbit comes close, Gobru jumps down and kills it by breaking its spine with a stick. The plan works perfectly. However, after the kill, Kichi becomes greedy and wants more meat for himself. Gobru hits him and makes it clear who is in charge. While preparing the rabbit, Gobru notices that one of its horns is strong. He realizes it can be used as a weapon. Suddenly, a strange notification appears in his mind. He does not understand what it means because the elder never explained anything like this. Before he can think about it, Kichi calms down and eats his share of the meat gratefully. On the fifth day, they continue hunting. Gobru starts using the rabbit horn as a weapon. When he eats the rabbit meat, his eyes glow blue. He suddenly understands what the notification means. He gains a skill from the rabbit. Gobru remembers that in his past life, he had a rare ability called absorption. This ability allows him to gain skills from whatever he eats. Although all his old skills are gone, absorption remains. He feels lucky and hopeful. In this forest full of monsters, he can grow stronger by eating them. By the sixth day, Gobru's hunting success attracts attention. A female goblin named Gobmi approaches them. She is impressed by their meat and amazed that they hunted horn rabbits, which are very dangerous. Gobru invites Gobmi to join their next hunt, and she happily agrees. On the seventh day, heavy rain forces them to stay inside the cave. With nothing else to do, Gobru explores deeper into the cave. What he finds shocks him. He sees human women locked up as prisoners. This confirms that goblins are truly cruel creatures. Gobru chooses to ignore it for now and focuses on crafting weapons instead. The goblin elder, named Gabuji, visits Gobru. He notices that Gobru has strong motivation and unusual behavior. Gabuji believes Gobru may grow quickly. He explains that there is a level system in this world. He tells Gobru how to check levels and shows that he himself is level 86. Gabuji explains that if a goblin reaches level 100, it can evolve into a higher being. The next day, the weather clears. Gobru hunts with Kichi and Gobmi. Their teamwork improves greatly. Kichi attacks from the front, Gobru supports from a distance, and Gobmi assists. They kill a large snake and gain a lot of meat. When Gobru eats it, he gains many new skills. On day 11, they make a mistake and enter an unknown cave. Inside, they are attacked by a swarm of vampire bats. Running is useless, so Gobru uses his evil eye skill to freeze the bats. Together, they kill them all. By eating the bats, Gobru gains skills like echolocation and poison resistance. Later that night, starving goblins try to attack Gobru out of jealousy. Thanks to his sensing ability, he notices them early. He fights back but accidentally kills one goblin. Gobmi arrives and brutally punishes the attackers, showing her loyalty to Gobru. The next day, they kill an orc using teamwork and planning. They bring all the meat back to the cave. Gobru shares the food with everyone. Seeing the goblins eat, he realizes he has changed. In his past life, he would never help others like this. That night, Gobru receives a notification saying he is ready to evolve. He falls asleep before reacting. The next morning, he wakes up transformed. He looks stronger, taller, and more human-like. He even has hair. Kichi evolves as well. Gobru has become a hobgoblin. The elder is shocked. Gobru challenges Kichi to test their strength. They fight, and although Kichi is stronger physically, Gobru wins with skill and technique. Soon after, they kill a pack of wolves. Gobru eats the leader and gains leadership skills. Gobru declares himself the leader of the goblins. He promises to teach them how to hunt and make weapons. With strength, skills, and leadership, Gobru begins his path to building a powerful goblin tribe. On day 17, a tragic event happens inside the goblin cave. The human women who were captured earlier take their own lives. They lose hope and cannot endure their suffering anymore. Gobru is deeply affected by this. He holds a quiet memorial for them along with the elder Gabuji. There is no celebration or noise, only silence and regret. Gobru feels that even though he did not cause their pain, he failed to save them. This moment stays heavy in his heart. Time moves forward to day 24. Gobru spends his days training the other goblins. He teaches them how to move together, hunt smarter, and protect each other. At the same time, he continues hunting strong enemies in the forest. Every powerful creature he defeats gives him new abilities through absorption. His strength, skills, and confidence keep growing rapidly. One day, another group of goblins approaches the village. Gobru immediately prepares to defend his people. However, Gabuji stops him and explains the situation. These goblins are raiders. They are the ones who leave the cave, attack human settlements, and bring captives back. Gobru is shocked when he learns that these raiders are also the fathers of his generation of goblins. While the younger goblins grow inside the cave, the raiders live outside and only return when necessary. The raiders recently capture another group of human women. The goblins celebrate because their previous captives died. They believe this is normal. Gobru learns that goblin blood is extremely dominant, meaning goblins are born even when they reproduce with other species. Gobru understands the biological explanation, but he strongly rejects the cruelty behind it. Gobru asks if he can take responsibility for the captured women instead. The leader of the raiders refuses. Tension rises quickly, and both groups prepare for conflict. A civil war seems close. Before fighting begins, two female hobgoblins arrive. One is Hobsato, a skilled leader type, and the other is Hobsei, a mage. They calm both sides and propose a solution. Their idea is simple. The leader of the younger goblins and the leader of the raiders will fight. The winner will decide the future of the village. The raider leader accepts, wanting to crush Gobru. The fight ends quickly as Gobru uses a strange string-based ability that shocks everyone. He traps and defeats his opponent without killing him. When asked how he does it, Gobru explains that the strings come from his own body. He gains this skill after eating a demon spider, allowing him to produce spider silk. The hobgoblins are amazed. With no one else willing to challenge him, Gobru becomes the new leader of the entire village. Gobru immediately announces new rules. No goblin is allowed to touch human women. He promises that he will not harm them either, and that he will eventually find a way to return them to a human settlement. Some goblins question his kindness, but no one dares to oppose him. Gobru later admits to himself that his actions are not completely selfless. He wants to learn from the humans. He speaks with them and discovers that they belong to a traveling trade group. When goblins attacked, all the men were killed, and only 5 women survived. By day 28, Gobru notices something unexpected. The human women appear calm and even cheerful at times. He realizes they are forcing themselves to stay positive to survive mentally. Wanting to help, Gobru prepares food for them. He soon learns that 2 of the women are skilled cooks and tailors. One is an alchemist. Another is an appraiser and blacksmith. The red-haired woman is a beginner warrior. Gobru decides she should later join Goblin training. Gobru trains everyone hard, including goblins and humans. He is strict and often harsh with his words, but his goal is survival. For several days, he focuses on teamwork training instead of hunting. On day 31, Gobru and Kichi have an intense sparring match while others watch in awe. That night, Gobru senses trouble. Some goblins plan to break his rule and harm the human women. Gobru stops them instantly and kills one attacker without hesitation. He punishes the others and reminds them of his authority. Gobru apologizes to the women. The red-haired girl breaks down and cries in his arms, overwhelmed by fear and relief. Gobru gathers the entire village and publicly punishes the guilty goblins to send a clear message. One of them dies from his injuries the next morning. After that, no one dares to disobey again. On day 32, Gobru's team hunts a powerful three-horned horse. Gobru gains new abilities, including a skill that allows him to strike 3 times in one attack. That night, the red-haired woman sleeps beside Gobru due to emotional stress. Gobru comforts her. When he wakes up, he finds Gobmi there as well. A female goblin evolves into a hobgoblin, showing that others are growing stronger too. Later, Gobru goes alone into the forest to test his power. He experiments with destruction magic and easily kills another horned beast. Feeling confident, he makes a dangerous mistake and enters the northern forest. This area is forbidden. It is home to the red bear, a legendary monster. Gobru witnesses the red bear tear apart a powerful creature with ease. Instead of retreating, he chooses to fight. The battle is brutal. The bear blocks powerful magic by sacrificing its own arm. It breathes fire, burning the forest. Gobru barely survives multiple attacks. His armor breaks, his body suffers heavy damage, and he even loses an arm. Despite this, Gobru refuses to give up. He turns the bear's own fire against it and finally kills it after a long and painful fight. On day 34, Gobru eats the red bear and gains incredible strength and endurance. His body collapses afterward. A notification appears, allowing him to evolve again. On day 35, Gobru awakens as an ogre. His size, power, and presence are completely different. He returns to the village, causing panic. The goblins think a monster attacks them. Gobmi recognizes him and rushes forward. She scolds him angrily for disappearing and getting hurt, but she is relieved he survives. The village realizes Gobru defeats the red bear just 1 month after his birth. Everyone is stunned. Gobru does not celebrate. After Gobru evolves into an ogre, life inside the goblin village changes again. His new body is much larger and stronger, which draws a lot of attention. Gobmi stays very close to him all the time. He goes to the storage room where the human women work. At first, they panic because they do not recognize him. His size and presence scare them. Gobru calmly proves who he is by showing his abilities and familiar behavior. Once they understand it is really him, they relax. One of the women notices a damaged axe stored nearby and becomes excited about repairing it. Gobru is impressed by her effort and skill and gently praises her. However, Gobmi and the red-haired warrior woman notice this interaction and do not like it at all. Gobru then checks on the green-haired woman who focuses on potion making. He inspects one of her vials and immediately realizes it is poison. She admits this honestly. She explains that at first she plans to poison all the goblins to escape or die fighting. Over time, she realizes some goblins, especially Gobru, are different. She decides not to use it. Gobru accepts her answer and trusts her judgment. The next day, Gobru understands a serious problem. His ogre strength is too much. Even when he holds back, sparring with normal goblins nearly kills them. He decides to stop physical training with them. Kichi feels deeply frustrated by this gap in power and leaves to hunt alone to clear his mind. Gobru worries but allows it, knowing Kichi needs space. The day continues calmly. For the first time in a long while, Gobru rests. He spends time sewing quietly beside Hobse, who reads her book as usual. Even after losing an arm in the fight with the red bear, Gobru functions almost normally thanks to his skills. The next day, a female goblin named Go rushes toward Gobru carrying a badly injured carbuncle. Gobru tries to heal it, but the wounds are too serious. He asks the potion maker to help. After treatment, the creature wakes up confused but alive. She introduces herself as Returner and thanks everyone for saving her. She explains that humans attack her to steal the gem on her forehead, which is worth an enormous amount of money. Returner reveals that she is an artificial being created by a powerful wizard long ago to guard his treasures. During the attack, her core is damaged, and she knows she does not have much time left. Her creator hates humans deeply, even after death. He prefers his treasures to fall into goblin hands rather than human ones. Returner offers Gobru a deal. If he drives away the humans hunting her, she will lead him to the hidden treasure. Gobru understands how important this opportunity is. He gathers everyone and announces a mission. They will confront the humans and secure the treasure. He asks the blacksmith woman for the magic stone knife she makes earlier and takes it with him. The goblin group reaches the treasure area. Gobru orders the others to stay hidden while he attempts to speak with the humans first. Before he finds them, the adventurers ambush him. They complain about facing an ogre, but decide to attack anyway. An assassin tries to strike from behind, but Gobru blocks the attack easily. Gobru tells them they are trespassing, attacking a guardian, and stealing something that does not belong to them. He gives them a chance to leave. Instead, they attack again. Their strength is nothing compared to his. After losing patience, Gobru traps them with earth magic and calls his team. The goblins defeat them and take their equipment. Gobru absorbs the abilities from the magical items, gaining a powerful item storage skill. Returner keeps her promise and leads them to the hidden treasure room. The body of her creator, a legendary wizard, rests there. She explains that he collects spirit stones and artifacts. Her life ends peacefully, leaving behind her gemstone, which Gobru absorbs. The group pauses in silence before looting the treasure. Gobru decides not to leave the wizard's body exposed. He burns it respectfully. From the ashes, a powerful gauntlet appears. When Gobru puts it on his missing arm, it fuses with his body and replaces what he loses. The new arm functions perfectly and has many special abilities. Over the next day, Gobru organizes the treasure. He equips 15 hobgoblins with strong magical items and keeps a spear and bracelet for himself. By day 40, he sets up matches to rank strength among the hobgoblins. Later, Gobru hunts alone. He defeats a rare golden spider and gains the ability to produce golden threads. While exploring further, he enters a glowing forest area belonging to dryads. Despite knowing the danger, he gets drawn in. One dryad approaches him closely. Gobru loses his composure and uses a sacred ability. Afterward, Gobru cleans himself near a waterfall but gets attacked by lizardmen. He defeats them easily. When he returns, he learns 2 goblins show talent for magic and assigns them to train under Hobsei, though she looks unhappy about it. Suddenly, tension rises among the women in the cave. They act cold toward Gobru. Confused, he asks the green-haired woman. She explains they are jealous after seeing marks on his body. They believe he chooses someone else first. Even she admits feeling the same way. Gobmi also demands fairness. What follows remains private, and Gobru seals his room to ensure silence. Sometime later, Gobru senses danger approaching the cave. A group of elves arrives in panic. Humans plan to attack them and steal their treasure, so the elves come to ask the goblins for help. One elf speaks rudely and acts proud, but he offers several months' worth of food in exchange for protection. Gabuji believes this is a good deal, but Gobru refuses. He does not like how the elves lie and hide their true fear. He wants honesty, not bribery. The rude elf loses patience and prepares to attack Gobru. Gobru responds with a terrifying glare that freezes everyone in place. He warns the elf to call off the hidden archers nearby. The elves still try to attack, but their arrows cannot even harm Gobru. Realizing how powerless they are, the elf orders a retreat. Before the elves leave, Gobru reveals his legendary weapon. He does not fully understand it yet, but it allows him to create countless spears that can strike from far away. The elves are completely terrified and flee. Gobru hopes he does not see them again. On day 45, Gobru hunts gray slimes and defeats many of them. After eating their cores, he gains several useful abilities, including regeneration and self-duplication. He experiments and learns he can create small copies of himself using his own blood. These copies can see and hear what he sees and hears. This gives Gobru a new idea. On day 46, he asks the women to sew clothes with his blood inside the fabric. These clothes allow him to sense their location and condition from far away. The next day, one of his small scouts discovers the elves have returned again. Gobru releases a powerful roar from inside the cave that paralyzes them with fear. He walks out silently and captures them easily. The elf leader complains about his pride being hurt. Other elves apologize and beg for mercy. Gobru decides to punish them fairly. He announces that the elf leader will die, but the others may live if they fight goblins in a controlled battle. Those who survive earn the right to live. Out of 23 elves, 6 lose and die. Gobru admits to himself that he avoids letting female elves lose. He eats the defeated elves and gains more abilities. The surviving elves become prisoners. Some goblins behave badly, but Gobru enforces strict rules. Gabuji promises to behave. Gobru personally handles the execution of the elf leader. On day 48, Kichi reaches level 100. On day 49, Kichi evolves into a powerful form blessed by fire and war gods. His skin becomes strong like iron, and his power increases greatly. Kichi challenges Gobru to a sparring match. Although Gobru still wins, Kichi proves himself as a true rival. That night, Gobru encounters a strange being who apologizes and gives him a gift before disappearing. Gobru wakes up confused and unsure if it is real. By day 51, more goblins evolve into hobgoblins. One gains mage potential, and another becomes a cleric named Gobji. Hobsei also evolves further and becomes a half-spell lord. Her mana is overwhelming, and she shows her power with massive fire magic. Gobru gives her better equipment. He realizes evolutions are happening faster because the young goblins grow in a powerful environment during their first month. On day 52, older goblins feel left behind. They choose to leave the village. Gobru allows it and even gives them a magical knife as a farewell gift. On day 53, Gobru eats a dying human killed by an orc and gains the Monster Tamer ability. He plans to use it with respect. That night, the alchemist succeeds in making alcohol, lifting morale. On day 54, Gobru announces the older goblins have left. No one else wishes to follow. On day 55, he begins crafting earrings made with his blood to allow communication. By day 56, the earrings work perfectly, and everyone wears one. On day 57, a goblin defeats a Trihorn, and Gobru uses Monster Tamer to turn it into a familiar. On day 58, he gains more familiars. On day 59, the red-haired woman suddenly evolves into a powerful warrior. She gains a special job that requires eating monsters to survive, but grants rapid growth. Gobru realizes war with humans is approaching. On day 60, kobolds flee into the cave chased by skeletons. The skeletons are endless, but Gobru discovers destroying them completely is the key. He pushes through the army and kills the source creating them. Eating it grants him undead summoning abilities. The kobolds explain they accidentally awakened the Guardian while digging into old treasure. They declare Gobru their lord. Gobru accepts responsibility and looks at his growing group. On day 61, Gobru goes hunting with Kichi. While moving through the forest, they notice 12 armed human soldiers traveling together. Instead of attacking, they quietly follow them. Gobru uses his special listening skill to hear their conversation. He learns that these humans are planning to kidnap the daughter of the elf chief. One of the elves has secretly given them this information. The humans plan to strike when the elf girl returns from a festival. When the time comes, the humans attack fast and kill the guards without trouble. They grab the elf girl and try to escape. Gobru does not like what he sees and decides to step in. He quickly defeats the soldiers, rescues the girl, and captures all 12 humans. On day 62, Gobru learns that the human army plans to attack in about 20 days. He kills and eats the captured soldiers, gaining many new abilities. When the elf girl wakes up, she is terrified of Gobru. He notices she has wings, which is strange for normal elves. Gobru calmly explains that she is safe, but she panics and believes he will hurt her. After drinking calming tea, she slowly relaxes. When Gobru tells her that her guards died, she becomes angry and blames him for not helping sooner. Gobru explains that the war between humans and elves is not his problem. He also tells her that one of the elves betrayed her. This makes her break down in tears. Gobru tells her to rest and promises to take her home soon. On day 63, Gobru escorts the elf girl back to her village. When they arrive, Gobru senses many archers aiming weapons at him. The elf girl steps forward and tells everyone that Gobru saved her life. The elf chief thanks Gobru and offers his gratitude. Gobru is honest and says he did not act only out of kindness. He wants a reward and also wants to see how the chief judges situations. The chief gives him a powerful magical bow called Failnot, a family treasure. The elf girl is shocked, but the chief says her life is worth more than any item. Gobru accepts the gift and offers useful information about the human army in return. This creates trust between the goblins and elves. The elves also provide the goblins with mithril equipment. As a sign of thanks, the chief also gives Gobru high-quality alcohol. That night, Gobru is surprised by how good it tastes and promises to help the elves if they ask again. On day 64, Gobru sees major changes in his village. Gobmi evolves into a damper variant and gains powerful ice abilities from the ice god. Hubsato evolves into a half-bloody lord and can control blood, shaping it into weapons. All these evolved goblins have strange markings on their bodies that seem to give them power. Gobru becomes curious about these marks. Because of these changes, Gobru decides to give everyone new names and roles. He also learns about a ranking system where his race stands 5th among powerful beings. He knows that the elves will soon ask for help in the coming war, so he prepares carefully. Gobru gives communication earrings to the new members. He then begins training everyone together. He summons undead creatures like skeletons and equips them with armor to make training harder. On day 65, Gobru learns he can summon weaker undead by using less mana. These undead are useful for practice but disappear in sunlight, which limits their use. The group now has more than 100 members. On day 66, Gobru seals the cave exit where undead once appeared. He sends the kobolds to hunt for more wolf familiars. They return quickly with 20 wolves and even defeat a powerful boar on the way. Later, the blacksmith reveals she upgraded an axe using special materials and has evolved into an elemental smith. Gobru praises her progress. On day 67, Kichi admits to Gobru that he has feelings for E. Gobru already knows and gives him advice. That night, Kichi confesses his feelings to E, and she responds positively. The next day, Kichi feels stronger and more confident. During training, he lands more hits on Gobru than ever before. Gobru is pleased and lets a powerful skeleton take his place in sparring. Later, a hunting group encounters new insect monsters. Gobru eats them and gains an ability called Exoskeleton. When activated, it covers his body in a strong armored form that can repair itself and absorb damage. It is flashy, but very powerful. He learns this ability can unlock multiple forms. He decides to prepare forms for air and sea combat. On day 69, heavy rain falls. A red-haired warrior girl challenges Gobru to more training, showing great growth. The smith continues working with elves on weapon ideas, including new ranged weapons. Gobru asks her to focus on creating special weapons for him. The chefs gain a new title and try to recreate food from Gobru's past life. Gobru also discusses magical items with the alchemist, who shows him a freezing bone weapon she created. Others notice Gobru spending time with her. On day 70, elf messengers arrive with news. The human army is advancing, and the elves cannot win alone. They ask Gobru for help at any cost. Gobru accepts, but says the battle will be fought on his terms. He gives the elf chief a bracelet for communication and explains that information decides wars. Gobru gathers everyone and announces a new goal. They are no longer just a village. They are now a professional fighting force. Their name is the Parabellum Mercenary Company. Everyone cheers as they prepare for their first real war. On day 71, Gobru leads the Parabellum Mercenary Group on their very first mission. The team has 36 core members, and with the help of magic that allows their pet monsters to join, their total force reaches 73. They move out early in the morning using information gathered by Gobru's small blood scouts. A strong magical barrier protects the human army base, but Gobru uses the special power of his silver arm to break it with ease. As soon as the barrier falls, he steps forward and uses her earth control to seal off every escape path. The humans are trapped. Gobmi and Sei attack first, releasing a powerful mix of magic spells together. Gobru supports them by summoning many skeleton soldiers and launching deadly spears. Even with this heavy attack, the humans do not fall quickly. A skilled female knight leads their defense and keeps the soldiers organized. Gobru lets out a terrifying roar to announce himself. The humans realize that the Black Ogre is controlling the undead army. The female knight shouts orders and declares that they must defeat Gobru together. A human mage starts casting spells, while the knight increases her speed with magic. Gobru feels impressed. He notices her calm thinking, her smart plan, and her attempt to aim for his heart. Still, her attack is not strong enough, and Gobru pushes her back. Gobru announces that he likes their fighting spirit and decides that most of them will be captured alive. The female knight refuses and says she only wants him dead. She challenges him and says that if he defeats her, he can do whatever he wants. Gobru agrees and orders his crew to kill and eat the normal soldiers, but capture 4 people alive. These are the female knight, the mage, a priestess, and a swordswoman with a fireblade. What follows is a one-sided battle. Gobmi uses her charm ability to make human soldiers fight each other. Habsato shapes blood into deadly weapons, and E supports with powerful earth attacks. Not a single member of Parabellum falls. The female knight manages to land one hit on Gobru, but it barely hurts him. The human mage prepares a very high-level spell and begs the knight to escape. To make things worse, the knight tries to sacrifice herself to ensure the spell hits Gobru directly. The mage apologizes and releases the spell, which has the power of a dragon. Gobru calmly states that the battle is already over. He refuses to let the knight die. Using several abilities at once, he creates a powerful shield by combining magic, his silver arm power, and other skills. The massive spell crashes into the shield and is fully blocked. Everyone is shocked. The battle ends in total victory for Parabellum. That night, Gobru celebrates with a feast. The elves also celebrate the victory. Later, Gobru checks on the captured humans, who are in poor condition. On day 72, Gobru explains that the communication earrings he placed on the prisoners prevent them from lying or hiding information. As a result, he gains a large amount of valuable intelligence. The elder elf asks for this information and offers high-quality alcohol in return. Gobru accepts happily and shares the details. The information reveals secret paths the humans plan to use for a massive ambush. They intend to attack the elves from all sides using huge numbers. With this knowledge, Gobru and his allies move ahead of time, setting traps and preparing positions. The human force consists of around 500 armored knights and 100 wizards. Gobru explains that if the elves fought this army directly, it would be a long and painful war. For Parabellum, it is only training. The attack begins with boulders blocking paths and crushing soldiers. The number of knights quickly drops from 500 to 300. Pit traps and arrows reduce them further until fewer than 100 remain. The human commander orders his troops to build defensive walls using anything they can find. The battle slows down. Gobru sends Kichi to fight the commander directly. The humans resist fiercely, but Gobru sends enough fighters to wipe out every remaining knight. Gobru watches closely, wondering if Kichi can control himself. The commander fights bravely and surprises Kichi with his spirit. Gobru praises him, but in the end, Kichi wins. Another feast follows, and Gobru gains even more abilities. Suddenly, Gobmi appears and openly declares that she wants to have Gobru's child, shocking everyone. On day 74, the captured knights feel deep shame for being taken alive. Their commander tells them to calm down since they have food and shelter. Later, Gobru asks the commander why humans attacked the elves. The commander explains that it all started with a princess who caught a rare disease that almost always kills. She is promised to a powerful king from another empire. That king demands a cure at any cost. The humans learn that the elves possess a secret medicine blessed by a forest demigod. Human greed turns this search for a cure into a full war. Later, something strange happens during mining. Everyone thinks they are under attack, but water bursts out and forms a natural hot spring. Gobru quickly learns that the spring boosts healing, removes sickness, and improves skin. Everyone enjoys it, and Gobru praises E for discovering it. On day 75, Gobru creates a new training plan. The human prisoners are used to train leadership skills. They command mock battles with real soldiers. Victory comes by defeating the opposing leader. Gobru watches and judges. Sei and Gobmi show strong leadership, but Kichi and Habsato struggle. The human commander asks to fight Gobru directly. Gobru respects his courage and names him the Steel Knight. To make the fight fair, Gobru shares some of his mana. Even then, the Steel Knight cannot win. Gobru defeats him easily, but heals him afterward. Kichi then asks to fight the Steel Knight and learns from his strong will. The knight explains he grew up around many different races, which makes communication easier for him. He notices how well Gobru has united many races and wonders if Gobru is guided by something greater. The Steel Knight gives up his title and asks to serve Gobru. Gobru accepts and frees him. He places the red-haired warrior girl under the Steel Knight's guidance so she can learn human combat skills. The elder elf agrees to treat the wounded humans. Gobru asks about the secret medicine. The elder explains it is the same medicine he gave Gobru earlier. It can cure almost any disease. He says elf law only forbids giving it to humans, not to the ogre who saved his daughter. Gobru drinks the medicine and feels strange sensations. He gains powerful healing abilities. He gives 1 drop of his blood to an injured human who is shocked when all his wounds and pain vanish. Gobru realizes his power has reached a frightening level. On day 81, Gobru prepares his Parabellum group for their 3rd major clash with the human army. Before the main fight even begins, he shows just how dangerous he has become. From a distance of 300 meters, he throws a single spear and strikes a human soldier with perfect aim. The battle ends in only 20 minutes. After the fighting stops, Gobru uses his slime ability to clean the battlefield by dissolving the dead bodies. The next day, Gobru brings some captured humans with him to meet the elf elder. Gobru reassures the prisoners that the elder is kinder than most elves. This turns out to be true. The elder welcomes them with food and drinks and listens calmly. He is pleased that Gobru has pushed the human army close to defeat. On the way back, the female knight speaks privately with Gobru. She pledges her full loyalty to him and asks for permission to fulfill her duty as a knight. She suggests sending secret elvish medicine to the human kingdom to cure the sick princess. Gobru understands that this could put the kingdom in his debt, which would be very useful. However, the world has 5 powerful gods, and religious conflict is common. Gobru is blessed by the god of demise and origin. If he is involved in delivering the medicine, it could cause more trouble. He tells the knight that he will think of a solution. Day 83 arrives, bringing the final battle. The human army has 2,000 soldiers. With elf support, Gobru's side has about 650 fighters. Charging in directly would mean defeat. Gobru does not feel fear. Instead, he feels curiosity and hunger. He summons his skeleton army and sends them toward the center of the battlefield. Some worry because the sun will rise soon, which usually weakens undead. Gobru explains that he made changes to them. He orders some teams to guard the outer areas, while he leads the skeletons forward. The humans are shocked by the number of skeletons. They decide to wait for sunrise, believing the undead will vanish. When the sun rises, the skeletons remain active. Gobru has coated them in slime so they can fight in daylight. The skeletons hold their ground, but Gobru soon orders them to support other units. He decides to personally wipe out the enemy center. As Gobru gathers power, a member of the Rugald Orden approaches. This warrior feels bored with the war and believes the humans simply lack effort. When he sees Gobru's power building, his interest awakens. Afterward, he begins eating the fallen to restore himself. Another elite warrior steps forward. His name is Filippo, known as the Bone Bug Brave. He reacts angrily when Gobru speaks casually to him. His eyes show signs of a blessing from the god of demonic insects. Filippo complains that Gobru ruined his peaceful time. Despite his childish behavior, the pressure coming from his body proves he is extremely dangerous. Filippo releases strange insect creatures that mix necromancy with biological power. They control corpses that can move under sunlight. He explains the difference between braves and heroes. Heroes empower fewer people, but are stronger individually. Braves empower hundreds. Filippo then transforms corpses into large monsters and orders them to attack. Gobru tears through them without hesitation. Impressed, Filippo takes direct control of the monsters, making the fight harder. He notices how fast Gobru heals and prepares a final move. He summons a massive centipede, his favorite pet. This creature is so dangerous, it is known as a natural disaster. Its venom kills with even a small dose. The centipede crushes Gobru, and the venom begins to work. Gobru's allies panic, unable to help as enemies surround them. Filippo believes the fight is over and plans to study Gobru's body. Suddenly, Gobru vanishes. Filippo barely avoids a surprise attack. Confused, he assumes Gobru used a fake body. Filippo decides to reveal more power. He begins a full transformation. Gobru finds this amusing and declares that strong enemies make better meals. The fight moves into the sky as Gobru activates his exoskeleton form. He sends Filippo crashing to the ground. As the battlefield clears, Gobmi senses something wrong nearby. Filippo laughs and decides to retreat. Gobru chases him but must stop to destroy one last moving corpse. Filippo escapes, but Gobru promises to eat him someday. Gobmi rushes to Gobru, relieved to see him alive. Gobru explains that he sent a hidden replica during the fight. That replica secretly meets the future king and head of the human army. It tells him that continuing the war is pointless and orders him to check his armor. Inside is elvish medicine that can cure the princess. The message is clear. The war no longer needs to continue. Gobru knows he could have killed the future king, but that would cause the full force of the kingdom to destroy the elves. He chooses restraint. He orders E to build defensive walls so the injured can be moved safely. When frightened humans encounter him, Gobru tells them the battle is over and no more lives need to be lost. That night, the cost of victory becomes clear. 30 members of Parabellum have died. In this world, the dead must be burned to prevent them from rising again. The group holds a quiet ceremony, honoring those who fought until the end. Everyone mourns in their own way. From day 84 onward, Gobru and his crew enter a period of massive growth. The recent war gives everyone huge battle experience, and this leads to many shocking evolutions inside the group. Gobfu changes in a very strange way. Because she constantly eats spoiled food and zombie remains, her body adapts and she evolves into a ghoul. Her personality becomes louder and more chaotic. Gobru starts feeling uneasy around her, unsure what is truly going on inside her mind. His discomfort grows even more when Hobmi reveals her terrifying eyes without a face. Gobru quickly asks her to keep them closed. The wave of evolution does not stop there. Several weaker hobgoblins level up and become ogres. This surprises Gobru deeply. Goblins usually care only about themselves, but this group grows stronger out of grief and respect for their fallen comrades. They turn their sorrow into motivation, vowing to honor the dead by becoming stronger together. The kobold leader also evolves, becoming a warrior kobold. He claims his new appearance is fierce like Gobru's, but Gobru thinks he looks more like a mafia boss wearing cosplay. Gobru then turns his attention to the prisoners captured during the war. He decides to release them. Those with nowhere to go are allowed to join his group as probationary members. Some prisoners refuse because they believe this status places them lower than goblins. This insult angers the goblins, but Gobru steps in. He admits the prisoners are individually stronger, yet he trusts the goblins who trained and fought beside him from the beginning far more than strangers. The 3 strongest prisoners challenge his authority. They demand a fight with the leader of the group, believing they can take control if they win. At first, they mistakenly think Dumi is the leader and laugh when they realize Gobru, a massive ogre, is actually in charge. Gobru agrees to fight and chooses to face 2 of them at once. During the fight, Gobru defeats the attackers instantly. One enemy manages to land a surprise hit, knocking Gobru back. For a brief moment, the battlefield falls silent. A gorilla-like man declares himself the new leader, but Gobru immediately sends him flying, explaining he allowed the hit to land as a test. By the end of the ordeal, Gobru's group gains 50 probationary members. They are put through harsh training, even fighting Gobru's undead forces. Gobru also gains new blacksmiths, including a young smith girl. Though inexperienced, she shows promise. From day 85 to 87, the group renovates their base. Gobru tests synthesis using probationary members. Dwarven smiths present a powerful warhammer, but Gobru struggles to understand its full value. As Gobru grows stronger, even wild creatures sense his presence and flee. On days 88 and 89, Gobru plants magical crops that grow faster, taste better, and offer higher nutrition. Some recruits return home, including highborn prisoners. Before they leave, Gobmi secretly brainwashes them, turning them into spies inside the kingdom and empire. With the human army withdrawing, the elf elder thanks Gobru and hosts a grand feast. Though elf law forbids outsiders, Gobru and his crew are treated as family. The elder reveals that his younger brother once broke elven law to explore the outside world. Gobru's actions ensure the forest remains a safe place for his return. Back at the base, he uncovers the final spirit stones. Gobru consumes them and gains many new abilities. He crafts a skeleton centipede using black skeleton bones and special materials to resist sunlight. He plans to use it as transportation when escorting human girls back to their town. By day 93, a party is held to strengthen bonds. Information emerges that humans look down on goblins, meaning noble support will be needed in cities. On day 94, Gobru divides everyone into 4 teams to explore, gather information, grow stronger, and survive without casualties. On day 102, Gobru and his group finally arrive at Trin City. This city is famous for being friendly toward demi-humans, so it should be a safe place. Once they settle in, Gobru gathers all the human girls for a serious talk. While staying in the city, he wants them to think carefully about their future. The rest of the day is divided into tasks. Some girls go around the city to sell their goods and earn money. At the guild, the receptionist faints the moment she sees him. Since official registration becomes impossible, an elderly man steps in and explains that Gobru must fill out an adventure registration form to be officially recognized as a mercenary group. Gobru agrees and completes the process. Later, The group goes shopping for clothes and supplies. Gobru decides to disguise himself using his human form from his previous life, so he can blend in and gather information quietly. After eating, Gobru walks alone through a dark alley. 6 thieves surround him, thinking he is easy prey. For Gobru, this situation is meaningless. He defeats and devours them without effort. This gives him several new skills related to criminal activity. He also notices that all 6 thieves wear rings with the same design. This makes him suspect they belong to a larger criminal organization. He decides it is better to leave the city soon to avoid unnecessary complications. Before leaving, Gobru witnesses another incident. A group of thieves is extorting a young knight. The knight brings money as ransom for a kidnapped princess, but the thieves suddenly demand much more and threaten to harm her. Gobru initially plans to ignore the matter, knowing that princess-related issues are full of political danger. However, when the knight tries to resist and is beaten badly, Gobru steps in. He knocks out the thieves and saves the knight. The knight becomes angry and shouts at Gobru for not killing the criminals. Gobru dislikes both criminals and ungrateful people. He hits the knight on the head and explains that he has reasons for keeping them alive. He then offers the knight help if there is a serious issue that must remain secret. To prove his seriousness, Gobru reveals his true ogre form. The knight is shocked, but later decides to accept Gobru's help. The knight explains the situation. He and the princess arrived in Trin City secretly for safety reasons. The princess ignored orders, wandered the city alone, and got kidnapped. Gobru reassures him and explains that he already knows where the thieves' base is. He tracked them using his own blood. Inside, they find the princess locked in a back room. While the knight checks on her condition, Gobru discovers documents proving the kidnapping was planned from the start. After rescuing her, Gobru burns the hideout to the ground. He tells the knight to keep everything secret, but the knight insists on reporting it. To prevent problems, Gobru hypnotizes him to keep silent. The next day, Gobru receives good news from Gobji. A new generation of goblins is born safely. All the girls decide to return with him to the cave. Just before they leave, the princess approaches Gobru. She introduces herself properly and asks him to escort her to the royal capital. Gobru is impressed by her calm speech and confidence. She shows no fear despite standing before a powerful ogre. Even so, Gobru refuses at first because he already has other plans and she has bodyguards. The princess argues that her bodyguards are boring and she wants someone strong and interesting like Gobru. He tries to explain, but she refuses to listen. The knight then mentions a reward of a gold plate if Gobru accepts the mission. Since Gobru also plans to visit the royal capital, he finally agrees. During the journey, the princess asks endless questions about the skeleton centipede and the surrounding wildlife. Gobru answers patiently. When he sees animals nearby, he decides it is time to hunt. He and Gobni kill some animals and cook fresh meat. Gobru even alters the centipede's appearance to make it less frightening. The princess continues acting recklessly, nearly jumping off the carriage and bothering others. Gobru eventually disciplines her, forcing her to behave more carefully. They later find a nest of turtle snakes. Gobru wants the meat, but no one else helps. He uses earth magic to uncover the nest and kills the snakes himself. The princess apologizes and helps with cooking, showing signs of maturity. After traveling further, they take a break. Gobru allows the knight to join morning training. The princess insists on joining as well, wanting to learn self-defense. Despite concerns, Gobru allows it. Through training, he learns more about both of them. On day 109, Gobru and his group arrive at a human village. As soon as the villagers see Gobru, fear spreads everywhere. Before the situation gets out of control, Rebelia steps forward and shows her family crest. The crest proves her noble status, and the villagers immediately calm down. Their fear turns into respect, and the group is welcomed warmly. The villagers guide them to a beautiful area near a massive waterfall, which is the pride of the village. The villagers hold a celebration at night to thank Gobru and his crew for visiting peacefully. Gobru joins the party and shares his alcohol with everyone. On day 110, the group leaves the village. While traveling, Gobru notices the twins look pale and tired. They explain that cooking for so many people during the festival drained their energy. Gobru tells them to rest and decides to handle the cooking himself for the day so they can recover. On day 111, Gobru suddenly orders the cart to stop. Everyone senses something is wrong. The twins reveal shocking news. They are expecting Gobru's children. Gobru completely panics because he has no idea what to do. He contacts Gabuji for advice. The situation becomes more serious very quickly. The babies grow at an abnormal speed and drain nutrients from the twins' bodies. Gobru explains that human bodies are too small to safely handle ogre children. If the twins do not get enough nutrition, their bodies could collapse. There is no time to return to the village. Gobru searches desperately for a place where they can give birth. The twins are in terrible pain but try to stay calm and reassure Gobru. Suddenly, their bodies become extremely thin. Even strong healing potions fail to help. They need something far richer in nutrients. Gobru realizes there is only one option left. Without hesitation, he tears off his own arm and offers it to them. Everyone is horrified. The twins refuse at first, but Gobru reminds them that he can regenerate and that their lives matter more. He tells them they can hate him later, but he refuses to let them or the babies die. Gobru finds a nearby cave for shelter. Some bears live there, but his strongest subordinates drive them away easily. Gobru creates makeshift beds and uses healing magic and anesthesia to reduce the twins' pain. One of the twins' bellies finally stops growing, giving him hope. After a long, intense struggle, the twins give birth safely to a baby boy and a baby girl. Thanks to Gobru's powers, their wounds heal quickly. Gobru feels overwhelming relief and pride. For the first time, he truly feels like a father. The princess holds one of the babies. He names the girl Oro and the boy Argento. The twins recover well, and Gobru thanks them deeply. They decide to live together as a family from now on. On day 112, Gobru goes out alone to search for powerful monsters. He encounters a majestic creature he calls the White Stag. He knows it is a boss-level monster. Even at full strength, his chances of winning are low. Instead of fear, this excites him. However, the creature does not attack. It sheds its antlers and runs away. Gobru considers eating the antlers, but decides they would be better for his children. Later, Gobru finds a joint force of humans and demi-humans fighting a powerful boss monster. This group is highly skilled and clearly elite. The battle is intense. One human steps forward to protect the group, and Gobru senses something special about him. Gobru believes this man might have defeated the boss on his own. He praises him and pretends he was sent by someone else to kill the monster. Gobru offers to take the corpse in exchange for healing their injuries. They agree and part ways peacefully. The human leader feels deep fear toward Gobru. His ability shows him visions of death, revealing that fighting Gobru would have led to total destruction. After eating the boss monster, Gobru gains even more power and returns home. Back at the cave, his children already walk and run to greet him. Gobru feeds them the White Stag's antlers, greatly boosting their abilities. He and the red-haired girl also gain new powers from a small piece. Gobru realizes how dangerous the White Stag truly is. That night, Gobru reaches another evolution. He transforms into an Apostle Lord and gains a true name, Yaten Doji. After Gobru gains his new evolution, he and his crew resume their journey. On the road, more of the female members start expecting, this time the alchemist and the blacksmith. Gobru has experience with handling births now, so he prepares accordingly. They make a stop near a body of water to make the process safer and smoother. Both deliveries go well, and Gobru becomes a proud father of 4 children. Now with 2 new kids added to his family, Gobru takes time to adjust while keeping the crew organized. The next day, the group arrives at Purgatory, their final stop before approaching the royal capital. He instructs all the new moms to rest while the rest of the crew heads to the Adventurers Guild to gather intelligence. Several adventurers notice Gobru and his crew and are fascinated by their strength. They ask for a spar, but Gobru knows he could easily overpower them, so he comes up with a plan. He tells them they can spar with the 3 lords instead. The adventurers accept eagerly. During the fight, the adventurers quickly realize the lords are far too strong, and Gobru uses the opportunity to introduce himself as the boss of Parabellum. He hands out business cards like a proper leader. That night, he enjoys taking pictures of his children, capturing precious moments. As they prepare to continue their journey to Oswell, Gobru reflects on the coming challenges. With the babies in tow, he worries about potential trouble on the road. He also realizes he hasn't checked in with other crews, so he reaches out. First, he contacts Habsato's crew, who are doing well, although Sei is buying countless books. Next, he checks in with Dodom's crew, praising her intelligence gathering but advising her to rest occasionally. Group 4 has no clear leader, so Gobru appoints Rin and wishes her luck. Finally, he contacts Kichi's squad, but upon using his perception, he sees a vision of himself getting sliced in half, which shocks him. He decides to take a detour to check on Kichi personally and informs the princess. As they travel to the maze city of Grip Hose, Gobru enjoys time with his children. Upon reaching Grip Hose, Gobru heads to the dungeon entrance to check on Kichi, who is likely inside. Gobru speaks to the city mayor, who explains that a group of adventurers was sent to handle the creature. At the dungeon entrance, Gobru encounters Kichi and E, both now significantly evolved. He has knocked out one of the adventurers sent in, but assures everyone that the person is unharmed. Gobru asks for an explanation regarding the vision he saw. He recounts that deep in the dungeon, they encountered a rare monster called the Mind Mirror, which can shapeshift into the opponent's strongest fear. Gobru realizes the vision was of Kichi's battle, and his worry was unnecessary. Kichi's evolution has made him a new Minotaur breed, and E has reached full Earth Lord status. While in town, Kichi challenges Gobru to a spar. They prepare a large area for the fight. Kichi, having trained extensively in the dungeon, wields a massive axe and combines fire and lightning abilities. The fight begins with Kichi striking Gobru with overwhelming force. The battle intensifies as both push their abilities to the limit. Gobru attempts a sneak attack using his elemental powers, but Kichi counters effectively. Gobru emphasizes the danger of reckless power use, ensuring Kichi understands the responsibility that comes with such strength. Throughout the spar, Gobru reflects on the growth of his crew. Kichi's determination to match him shows loyalty and a desire to become a true equal and friend. Gobru respects this commitment while making sure no one gets hurt during the fight. He hopes Kichi can return safely after learning from the lesson, knowing the experience strengthens both of them. On day 121, Gobru and his crew finally arrive at the royal capital of Oswell. Gobru reflects on his long fight with Kichi, which lasted until the next morning. The city impresses him with its size and organization, and Rebellier explains that the wisdom of its people is what allowed it to grow and thrive. The crew enjoys a lavish feast at her palace that night, though the alchemist complains about the luxury, finding it hard to sleep in the soft beds. The babies have no trouble at all. The next day, Rebellier gives Gobru a formal reward, a note endorsing him, allowing him to move freely throughout the capital. Gobru questions how she can trust him so quickly, but she explains she has carefully observed his character. She notes that he is efficient in both business and combat, carefully weighing risks and rewards, and would not act against her kingdom. Gobru realizes that Rebellier has been evaluating him all along, and he respects her cunning. This trust also benefits her because it makes it easier to call on his services in the future. Gobru's crew prepares to leave, and his blood replicants are strategically placed across the city to monitor the capital for future needs. He declares it's time to head back to their village. By day 124, Gobmi feels frustrated because she has not evolved and remains at level 89. Gobru reassures her that he won't leave anyone behind and offers to train her. He stops the carriage and invites everyone to join in the training session. He summons a group of giants for Gobmi to fight, and she goes all out, taking down over 30 of them without holding back. Gobru comforts her, acknowledging her effort and telling her she did well. They rest and eat dinner while Gobmi sees a black screen in her dreams. On day 125, Gobru is shocked to witness Gobmi evolving into a vampire noble variant. She informs Gobru that they are now officially husband and wife. Gobru is overjoyed at her evolution and even happier to see her laugh again. On day 126, the crew finally returns to their forest home, the cave where they were born. Gobru feels nostalgic and happy to be back in their familiar surroundings, even though the cave has changed significantly. The other crews have renovated it while trying to surprise him. The space now includes a proper farm, a residential area for familiars, and even talking cats. Everyone is excited about the upgrades, though Gobru is momentarily distracted when Gobji arrives, hospitalized and in poor condition. Gobru rushes to his side. Before passing, Gobji meets Gobru's grandchildren. Gobmi is amazed to see the family that Gobru has built. Gobru and Gobji exchange jokes and Gobru shares an important update. He has become an apostle lord and will now go by the name Aparu. Everyone celebrates their new names, though Gabuji teases Gobru for the simplicity. Gobji marvels at seeing one of his old goblin charges reach such heights. Shortly after, Gobji passes away peacefully, and Gobru reflects on Gobmi's life. In honor of Gobji, Gobru announces the start of a Parabellum mercenary company tournament. The rules are simple: no weapons, fights end when someone taps out, and intentional injury carries serious consequences. Winners earn the chance to improve their rank in the company. The battles begin, with intense action and destruction, as members test their skills against each other. The red-headed humans face off, and E and Hobsato compete, while Gobfu participates enthusiastically. The crowd cheers as Gobru prepares to spar with Minakichi. Minakichi acknowledges that Aparu's guidance helped him grow, while Gobru feels the same way about his student. Their battle is intense, unleashing massive bursts of power that shake the ground. Eventually, both are unable to move. The tournament concludes with Aparu taking first place, Minakichi second, Kanami third, and E fourth. Gobru is proud but not surprised by the results. The twins provide food, and even the youngest children are exhausted. Gobru watches the crew, feeling proud of how much everyone has grown and improved, realizing that their progress brings more joy than any victory could. On day 127, Robilia contacts Aparu, prompting him to reveal his new name. She informs him that she wants to hire him again, emphasizing that the next task is manageable. Aparu knows Robilia well enough to suspect that she has a plan beyond what she states, and he is cautious. Robilia explains that she wants to increase Aparu's fame across the kingdom, which will benefit his crew. Understanding her influence and intentions, Aparu decides to accept the offer. Aparu and the Parabellum squad prepare to head to the royal capital, motivated by the promise of a substantial reward. The crew is ready to face new challenges, aware that fame and recognition will strengthen their influence and resources. The team is confident in their abilities, knowing they have grown significantly through battles, training, and personal growth. Aparu, now fully evolved, leads with a clear vision, balancing his responsibilities as a leader, father, and powerful combatant. Throughout these events, Aparu demonstrates strategic thinking, dedication to his crew, and care for his family. The growth of the Parabellum Mercenary Company reflects his leadership, and his decisions show a mix of tactical intelligence and emotional investment in those he protects. With the royal capital as their next destination, Aparu and his team are ready to face both political intrigue and combat challenges, continuing their journey of power, family, and legacy. That's all for today, my fellow men of culture. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe AniYolo for more anime recaps.